Welcome back to The Chosen's Blended Harmony of the Gospels. I'm Nancy, this is Mandy. We are on day 30, part 3, a question about taxes and the resurrection. A question about taxes from Matthew 22:15. Then the Pharisees went and plotted how to trap him by what he said, to hand him over to the governor's rule and authority. So they sent their disciples to him, along with the Herodians, spies who pretended to be righteous. Teacher, they said, we know that you are truthful and teach truthfully the way of God. You don't care what anyone thinks, nor do you show partiality. Tell us then what you think. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Should we pay or shouldn't we? Perceiving their malicious intent, Jesus said, Why are you testing me, hypocrites? Show me the coin used for the tax. They brought him a denarius. Whose image and inscription is this? He asked them. Caesar's, they said to him. Then he said to them, Give then to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. They were not able to catch him in what he said in public, and being utterly amazed at his answer, they became silent. So they left him and went away. They just keep trying to trap him. And now we have the Sadducees coming. Here we go. A question about the resurrection. That same day, some Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him and questioned him. Teacher, Moses wrote for us that if a man's brother dies, leaving a wife behind but no child, that man should take the wife and raise up offspring for his brother. There were 7 brothers among us. The first man married a woman, and dying, left no offspring. The second also took her, and he died, leaving no offspring. And likewise the third. None of the 7 left offspring. Last of all, the woman died too. In the resurrection, when they rise, whose wife will she be, since the 7 had married her? Jesus spoke to them. Isn't this the reason why you're mistaken? You don't know the Scriptures or the power of God. The children of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy to take part in that age and in the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. For they can no longer die, because they are like angels in heaven and are children of God, since they are children of the resurrection. And as far as the dead being raised, haven't you read in the book of Moses? Moses even indicated in the passage about the burning bush that the dead are raised, where he calls the Lord the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living, because all are living to him. You are badly mistaken. When the crowds heard this, they were astonished at his teaching. I bet they were. Some of the scribes answered, Teacher, you have spoken well, and they no longer dared to ask him anything. There's a lot in here. Let's go back to the tax one. So you've got 2 groups. You have the Pharisees. They're a conservative religious group. And then you got the Herodians. They're not religious. They are part of a group of people that are sponsoring Herod. So they're not religious. But these 2 groups came together because they both just want to get Jesus. Okay, so the Pharisees and the Herodians got together and they pretend to be righteous, and they're saying, Teacher, we know that you are truthful and teach truthfully the way of God. They're trying to butter him up. You don't care what anyone thinks, nor do you show partiality. Tell us then what you think. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Should we pay or shouldn't we? So once again, Jesus is like, this is a trap. I'm not walking into a trap. They're acting like they really want to have an answer, but they're trying just to trick him right here. Because if he says, pay money to Caesar, then the Jewish people are going to be like, well, you're supporting Rome, and Rome is above the Jewish people, and so they have to pay their taxes up to Rome. But then if he says, don't pay the tax because he's part of the Jewish religious group here, then he's going to get in trouble from Rome. They're going to come down on him because they're saying that you're not being obedient. So it's a trick question. Either way, he loses. Perceiving their malicious intent, Jesus said, Why are you testing me, hypocrites? Show me the coin used for the tax. So they brought him a denarius. Whose image and inscription is this? He asked them. Caesar's, they said. Then he said to them, I love it. Give then to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and give to God the things that are God's. They were not able to catch him in what he said in public, and being utterly amazed at his answer, they became silent. So they left him and went away. So he's saying there, it is good to pay our taxes, right? God puts people in control all around the world. There are leaders. And if there's a government set up that's protecting you and helping you and giving you roads and educating your children and all that, it's okay to pay taxes to that, right? So we're supposed to be honoring the leaders. And when we honor the leaders and pay our taxes, we're actually honoring God because he put those leaders in the place in the first place. So we should pay our taxes. But also, he's saying give to God what is God's. God has given us our bodies, our life. He's given us all these talents and our wonderful brains. So we should be using these also for God's glory. And we should be using these to tell other people about the good news and just even helping people in general. So he's saying do both. Give your taxes to whatever government that you're part of. You know, back then they would give it to Caesar because they were in Rome. And here in America, I would pay my taxes, to the American, government. But then also I need to give honor and praise to God and make sure I give him my heart, my talents, my ideas, my energy. So you can serve both, but keep God number one. But do pay your taxes so you don't end up in jail. So anyhow, it's a trick question. Once again, they're just trying to trick Jesus. They don't really care about the answer. They want to trick Jesus. And then there's the question about the resurrection. This is so funny. They make such an extreme example. He's saying there's a man and he had 6 more brothers. And the first man married the lady, but then he died. Then the second brother married, and the third and the fourth, all the way down to the 7th. All I can say is this poor lady, she had to bury all 7 men, and she was married 7 times. This is a crazy story. But you see, they're being extreme because, again, they're trying to trick Jesus. But Jesus says, isn't this the reason why you're mistaken? You don't know the scriptures or the power of God. The children of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy to take part in that age and in the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. So what he's saying is that while we're on earth and have these physical bodies, yes, we marry each other and are given in marriage. But when we die in heaven, there's not going to be any marriage. We're all just going to be sons and daughters of God, and we're not going to be married to people. And then he says, because they can no longer die, they are like angels in heaven and are children of God since they are children of the resurrection. So again, we're going to have different bodies and a different relationship. And so we're all just kind of going to be on the same level. There's not going to be like generations and families like that. We're all just going to be individual sons and daughters of the King of Kings. And so there's not going to be any marriage up there at all. So I hope today, my friend, you don't try to trick God in any kind of question. Just believe his word is his word, and it's true, and it's good for you, and it's good for me, and that we just need to be believing in him. And so I want to encourage you to pay your taxes and to do the right thing and to serve in your communities, because we all need to be obeying the law and doing all of that, but also making sure that we are giving our time and talents back to God. And then don't worry about in heaven if you're going to be married or not, because it's just going to be such a great time being there under him, right? The living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He lives for eternity. And I can't wait to go there. And I hope you are going with us as well. And you can if you put your trust in Jesus as your only Lord and Savior. Then you will also be able to come up to heaven. We hope to see you there. If not, come back tomorrow if you're still here for more Harmony of the Gospel. See you then. You can get your own copy of A Blended Harmony of the Gospels by The Chosen simply by going to thechosengifts.com. There you can find all kinds of wonderful merchandise to help build your faith this year. Be sure to check out their devotionals and their Bible studies. Have a blessed day.